start here to the group stages. So both these teams could very much use a 2-0 especially. So that's kind of what's on the line right here. Bad Monkey Gaming will have to do it without Baltazar, at least for this first game. That was part of the delay here, waiting to see if he would be able to make it online. I guess running into some issues. Unfortunately, unable to make it for now. They have Ninja Curdy in his spot. I want to say that's Pinky Curdy, perhaps on an alt account. Kind of makes sense. Anyways, the point is they're using a ringer here, so that is worth mentioning. I'm joined by Near once again as my co-caster. Welcome back to the cast here. I don't know if you know by chance, Ninja Curdy, would that be Pinky Curdy? Or?
I'm actually not sure.
Okay.
That's would be my assumption as well.
Yeah.
But maybe someone else that knows him could be too.
Maybe Angry Testing. It could be him.
Maybe. It could be, yeah.
We never know, really.
Yep.
All right.
Every possibility is there.
Okay, so anyways, we got obviously the draft taking place now, so let's get into that. Silhouette, Wild Soul, Behemoth, and Warbeast are the bands. And it's kind of funny seeing the Silhouette band and actually Fusen making it clear that, wait a second, Baltazar's not here. Why are they banning Silhouette? No, but Probus doesn't want to have to deal with it. They'll first pick a Lord Salforus, now into a Midas, Arachna, into a Luna is what we have here. So.
Yeah. So Forest not banned this time. I think it's the first time today, and instant picked. So, and I can understand that. This looks like Jungle Forest, Arachna short lane, and the Lodestone mid is something they play a lot. They don't usually offlane the Lodestone, but it definitely has potential to do that as well. And Sulfuris can also mid or short or jungle. So they have a lot of options here, but from experience, from what they've been playing, that is what I would assume how they lane.
Salforce was played by Sync earlier today.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Game,
yep.
So
my bad. That's also one of the first picks. Yeah, first pick.
Yep.
Sorry. Don't know how I forgot that. Yep.
I mean, the point really kind of still stands. It's just like it's either going to be banned initially or very likely first picked at this rate. So that's what we have here once again. Now the bans to follow Vindicator right off the bat. I feel like Probusc has actually been doing that a bit lately. I don't know if it's so. I guess it's something they faced recently with a Vindicator that really got to them, but
yeah,
they don't want to deal with it here.
Not sure. Yeah, it's definitely still a viable view of the Vindicator, and I feel like it's kind of in the same area as the Jeremiah, where it's picked up now and then you forget about it, kind of because of the ultimate. Sometimes it's like, okay, here it's really, really strong, let's pick it up, and other times you're kind of like, we have another player in mind, and we're gonna go with that. But here, kind of doesn't want to face it.
Taking it away, Kinesis into Sandwraith. That's how things follow so far. You see a couple of interesting right clicks over there from BMG.
No, honestly, that Nitro has a lot of potential. You know, the game we saw, I can't remember who it was against Sync, and that Nitro really dealt a lot of damage. Foreigners played as well and dealt a ton of damage. And I've been trying it a bit myself, and it seems to be honestly really strong. It's the only question is, can you stay alive long enough to be able to deal the damage that you need to do, and then it's gonna be a really strong hero.
Yeah, we definitely have seen the capabilities of it. So.
Yeah. At the same time, they right-click Succubus. I don't expect that, so I think they're just trolling a little bit. That's my assumption.
Well, yeah, and I guess an Arachna too. It would be a pretty risky pick with the Nitro.
Yeah.
So.
I guess yeah, you can't use your Q that well, can you? If you get Arachna ulti, you do have your E, so you can survive for at least 5 seconds.
But can you? But Arachna's aura goes through it, I assume, because of the True Strike.
Oh, that's true. Breaky, you're genius. Okay, there we go.
Yeah, so she's
Yep,
like
sure.
a hard counter to that hero.
Definitely, yeah. Do not want to pick it up now. That's for sure.
Yeah. So probably not going to see the Nitro unless they're just completely overlooking that. But Hellbringer is the 4th pick. Salamon Mage Ban is how things finish too. So yeah, pretty heavy on the carry side of things.
I think I'm gonna hear for that one in chat saying it. It's pretty good against Ragnar.
I mean, well, see,
Hellbringer comes out. Yeah.
I will say about Arachna though with that passive, it's like it's because the passive does so many things. It feels like that just happens to be a thing that's really on top that
Yeah.
you do have to remind yourself. It's like that's right, like wing bow, like all these evasion, like she kind of just doesn't care because of
Yep.
what she does with the True Strike. So that's what Nitro does is that evasion. So but yeah, Hellbringer coming out here as you mentioned. With that 4th pick now. So they're going to wait till their final. Well, actually, they might run Arachna as the true carry here.
That's true. It's not the usual to see the support pick last. It's a kind of rare case here for Mint, I think, unless they're going to run a hard support Hellbringer. I guess they have the option to do that still, but to me it looks like the offlane of Stone mid Hellbringer, Arachna short lane, jungles of Force. Very passive until they have what they need, and then they can start roaming with Sulfuris. Oilwood Stone even. Doctor coming out for Hillborn. Oh, yeah. Active hero. Pretty good with Midas and a Luna Snipe as well, I guess. But then again, Arachna is pretty good, to mitigate most of the damage that Doctor Repulsor deals to you. Because of the Howden Curvus.
So there's that way to look at it, but then there's also that Doctor's good at getting away from Arachna. So it's like kind of that trade-off right there, yeah. Kronos. Final pick for Mint. So it is going to be a support Hellbringer here.
Yeah. That's okay. It's a bit greedy, I would say. Maybe offlane Kronos is a possibility, just for the initiation, and then you have the damage dealing Arachna. Or you can, else you have to offlane the Lodestone. What they really lack, honestly, is a bit of initiation. They don't have that initial stun. I know when Sane plays Lodestone fast, he kind of complains about, yes, I can blink in and Q, but that's usually enough time for the opponent to react, because that Q kind of has that animation and is in the mid-air, and then you have to press Q again to stun, so people can, with shrunken heads and stuff like that, will get it off. And they don't really have that kind of initiation. They do have Cronus, so that ultimate is definitely pretty good at initiating with.
Boxy Devo.
Okay.
Is what we get to finish.
Yeah, it's honestly not a bad game for that hero. I think it's gonna have, a lot of room to run around and set up ganks, and there's not gonna be a ton of response from Mint, at least not early on. So if you can get a good head start, the Devo could end up doing a lot of work.
Just glad to see Boxy playing Devo here. It's obviously potentially an entertaining hero, and Boxy, entertaining player. So. They do kind of switch things up in general, too. You do see, again, they're missing Baltazar, so was very curious, how they were going to run things here. So Make ends up on the Doctor. Curdy is going to be in that Jungle Tempest, and so Tultuk actually will take over as the Suicide even. So, really kind of swapping things up here as far as roles go. So, again, that's what happens, though. When one of your players happens not to be able to make it, you may need to swap things up like that. So,
yeah,
going through that here.
So, Pinky Curdy, when he played, didn't he play jungle too? So I think that's what he's going to do, and Tilto's going to offlane the Midas, and then Mac is going to take on the carry role. It's going to be a bit interesting to see how they perform.
Yeah.
Talked about last series, Pine actually swaps up all the time, but BMG definitely one of the teams that stick to the roles.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So looks like they need a quick second right here before we are going to be good to go. Again, this is the only series happening right now, hence the delay that we had. So, and then we'll be finishing up with taking a look at the schedule here. Bad Monkey Gaming versus LGT Gaming. So we'll get to see them in a full series against BMG here. Fresh going to be going up against Polymorph. Actually, speaking of that, though, again, BMG, they played against Polymorph yesterday in a rescheduled match. One of several that's kind of been happening here in these group stages, and they ended up splitting that series against Polymorph. So Polymorph picking up their first game victory of the groups, and being the last team to still be winless, So that was definitely good to see, but at the same time, BMG definitely going to be feeling that one, knowing they missed out on some important points there that could have been made. So, all right, looks like we're back, though, to this one. So after a little bit of a delay, a little pause, we're good to go. Game number one here. Bunny Lover, I feel like him out of really most supports does this. He likes to port to the lane and get that ward of sight down as soon as possible. And there you go.
Yep.
Is it accomplishing a lot here? Yeah.
I think it's fine because you want to really know what the enemy team is doing. They have the more active team, and BMG is also known for running 5 through your jungle and then putting up wards. Especially if you're 5 here, they do it a bit sloppy, so you can catch one hero up, pick him off. You might have a Bloodlust in your favor. At the same time, you want to know what they do, and you have that passive lineup early on. You kind of need level 6 before you can start setting up ganks on almost all of your heroes. So yeah, having the advantage of knowing the lanes is pretty good here, and then they can lane accordingly. So the heroes they want farm on gets the farm.
Yep, so open it up here. Arachna, sure enough, heading to the bottom as mentioned. So good job with that information there. See Dr. Repulsor ready to go at the top lane. He's playing up, maybe seeing if somebody's trying to sneak into that jungle. But as we notice, Lodestone's still making his way up there. And Sloske has a ward of sight, but going to take a little bit longer.
Does BMG only buy 1 ward here in the beginning? Because I know Luna has one on him, but I don't think anyone else has one, and nothing else is placed. That's pretty interesting. They put 1 ward in. Usually you put one for Midas, and they don't have one here for him, it looks like. Unless he put it down somewhere and hasn't picked it up. I don't know. That's a little bit interesting. Only 1 ward from the beginning.
Yeah, no, that's true. It's obviously vision. It goes back to it's arguably like the most important thing in the game, and to not maximize the potential of it from the beginning, it's definitely a little questionable.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's not something they forgot, for sure. It's just something they think that, okay, it's probably not needed down here, and let's save the gold, save the void for a better time, maybe. It's definitely interesting. It's just something I just noticed here.
Middle lane matchup turns out to be a pretty fun one once again. We've been seeing a little bit more of these 2v2 lanes mid, I feel like. Maybe coincidence here, but got another one.
I think what BMG wanted was the solo Arachne here, and then they wanted to stun into hook. Well, that's not happening with the 2 versus 2 here. Then again, if Hellbringer gets hooked at any point, he has, like, Kronos can do nothing for him.
Yeah.
If he blinks or he Qs too slow, then he's just gonna die as well, I think. Of course, if BMG goes when Devo has not a lot of HP as he doesn't have right now, then it's gonna be risky for them.
Yeah, that middle lane definitely has potential, as usually with a hook hero, of course, to make some kills happen here. So a quick pause, but going to be coming out of it. EDC Boxy is able to kind of be pretty confident up here, getting those last hits in. But Hellbringer is definitely not afraid by any means, is going up. Does have a rev ward on her. They're going to try to maybe find a ward of sight here in the middle. As we see, it's near the Kongor pit, so we need to go over there and suspect that's where it is, if that would be the case.
Yeah.
No
That's a decent void. It spots out any kind of Sulfuris gangs from behind here. Sometimes that might be enough what they need, just that Sulfuris Q to finish off a target if they get aggressive in the lane. But no shenanigans can come out now. And they see the bottom rune in case there's a haste there. Or something like it.
Yep.
Like, honestly, if you know how the opponent's side is gonna lane, then only having 1 ward is fine, because if you're going for top and then you spot out the bottom rune, and usually they counter the bottom ward anyways from Midas, or maybe he has the 1-on-1 anyways and he can't really die, then, you know, why spend the gold on having a ward that actually doesn't accomplish anything for you?
Yeah, no, it's...
Oh, haste on Debo here.
Yeah, they did a good job of controlling that top rune. Aluna was up there again. Lack of vision for the Legion team up there, and so not really too sure. Well, they definitely know now though, as he comes back and is just going to farm with it. But also, that's a cue for Hellbringer to be pretty safe here. He knows that that would be dangerous for him to stick around. So
yeah, like what he's doing. You know, give us haste. He goes to stack small camp here. It's something I've trying to make myself do a lot more, but I kind of forget every time to stack with small camp, because it's pretty important, especially if you dual mid and you don't have too much to do.
Oh, top lane. A lot of back and forth up here. Doctor is going to apply some good pressure to Lodestone before eventually having him fall back to the tower. Regen being used, but Lodestone should be able to get some experience out of this. And it seems like he's so far been getting pretty good, as he's 9-0 creep farm, level 4 here. Doctor winning it though, 17-2 creep farm, so not surprising there.
Yeah. He is getting pretty low though, so if Lodestone gets the mana for a QW here, I think Doctor is in big trouble. 3 seconds. This could be a kill, potentially.
Oh, he's trying. There we go. One more auto attack. Man, if he was level 5, I think that's a kill.
Yeah.
God, and he just needs one more creep too, so the timing was just off.
Unfortunate. And he doesn't have the boots to chase him. Yeah. And there he hits 5. Oh yeah.
Yep.
Also close, yeah.
Yeah, no,
Well,
that
Doctor gets his bottle, so
that
that's
definitely would have been a kill. Oh well. Goes back to farming.
Yep. Meanwhile, Ragnar, Midas here. Ragnar's having a really good time. I mean, he has been harassing Midas as well with the Q. Midas does have another potion here, ready to go, but Ragnar definitely having the better time so far.
Yeah, different guy playing it down here. He's 19 and 11 currently. See, Midas is falling back even quite a bit, so I guess he might just be at the point where he wants to get a full regen on.
Yeah, looks like it.
Rather than waste time.
He is level 4, so he could even rotate mid. It's definitely a possibility. Of course, not having a stun on Devo kinda makes that pretty hard, so he's probably gonna go back bottom.
At Boxy, I mean, haven't watched this lane, but I don't think he's even tried for a hook yet. We're 5 minutes in.
Yep.
Oh. As I say it, sure enough. He goes for one.
I mean, he knows he can only kill Hellbringer, and Hellbringer has been doing a good job of having good positioning.
Yeah, we've even seen moments where Kronos is basically bashing a Luna kind of running up there, and again, Devo just not hooking because that's obviously the time leap away would make it easy. So, middle lane, Midas, he does rotate here. They also have Tempest in the spot.
Yeah, Luna's standing uphill to give them maximum vision here, and then Hellbringer's falling really far back. I like this. Good play. He's actually gonna see Midas here.
Oh, wow. See him at the last second, so shouldn't really mean too much other than they definitely know that the intention was there to gank. Gonna be fine though in the end. Top lane, no. Lowstone gets away with the rocket drill. Gonna be fine, but yeah, wasting a little bit of time there, so Midas instead will now head back towards the bottom rune actually, which he happens to pick up a refreshment rune there. Top rune, haste for Doctor. We'll see if he can make a play with that.
Yep.
Let's go back to farm for now.
Slash put a void up here on the on the hill, so they know that he has that, and he's actually gonna fall back. He could honestly also rotate mid and make something happen. Devo has an invis, but they have a ref, so that's not yeah. Can even pull the creeps, so he knows.
Yeah, it's kind of going up, but so close.
He's just aggroing the creeps, so it's like it's a little bit funny.
Yeah, it's pretty obvious there. Kronos level 6 now too, so how's that Kronos field in case an action or initiation does happen? Either use it as counter or perhaps to go for a kill themselves.
I mean, Midas is really spending a lot of time here. Like, while he went back, I mean, I think Ragnar's level 5, now Ragnar's level 7, he's still level 4, so he really wants to commit to this kill here. But Hellbringer is still sitting so far back, being very, very patient. Spotting out any kind of ganks from him. This is really working out for Mint. I mean, they gained 1,000 experience lead on this.
Yeah. So, it is interesting though, because yeah, looking at the GPM chart, however, it's top 3 farmers. I guess Arachna technically is like 30. He's kind of really there with Devo. But Doctor and Tempest are actually up by quite a bit. So, in that sense, it's actually looking pretty good for BMG. But now Lord Salforce is starting to pick up some ground. Obviously, Arachna has been free farming down here. So, biggest difference, top lane, they do kill Lodestone. Okay. Elemental Void even used.
Yeah, that's a good kill for them. It's definitely what they need. They're not gonna try and push the tower though. I guess Doctor does not have any mana. He's gonna go for the top rune here. And he will be fine to go back to the lane here. Lodestone is level 7 now. I mean, he could really set something up, especially since Hellborn is so aggressive in the mid lane.
Oh, nice hook right there in the middle. Kronos! He can't time leap when he's locked down like that. He gets taken out. Well played by Boxy. Not only not an easy hook, but then to obviously hit the ultimate right after. get the kill as a result. So 2-0
I think
all of a
Midas
sudden.
spent 3 minutes there. That's a lot of time, but we've seen what a Midas can do. As long as he's involved in those kills, he's gonna bounce back in GPM just fine. As long as he doesn't die too much and actually they get those kills. So I think it's honestly the right thing to do, even though he spent so much time. It just looks stupid, but it works out for them, and a good kill. Much needed kill for them. Of course, Arachne is still free farming. He's completely static farming, though. What he could do is he could start pushing it out, especially with the catapult, and then force Midas to go back here. It frees up space for Kronos, for sure.
Oh, Kronos, speaking of him, catches Devour right here in the Chrono field. See the follow-up, Lodestone, Shatterstorm. That should be a dead Devour as long as he stays in range. He can't, though. The transmute hits, and then look at that. Diva to add insult to injury. That was, I mean, they might not have killed him, I guess, so it's worth it, but it just looked funny.
Yeah, I mean, if the Legion didn't have that word of sight that Bunny Alpha put there, I mean, then that would have been a good hook, but they had vision of him, so Slash could press W on him in mid there, and you'll see what's hooking him from fog, and yeah, a bit greedy play from Boxy, but yeah, 1-for-1 in the end.
Yeah.
Hey, so Tilted does counter void that void.
Devo did have the Undying on him, so I think that too was pretty much going to guarantee it anyway.
Okay,
so.
Okay, yeah, okay, then nice play. I did see that.
Even more worth it, yeah.
Yep.
Doctor pushes out the top one in the meantime, so now 2,600 gold lead in favor of BMG, actually. How about this? Ninja Curdy here on Tempest. He is doing very well. 430 gold per minute. So, happen to be a pretty good ringer able to step in here.
Yeah, he did pretty well. I mean, Yid, level 6 up top, gets the kill in Lodestone and goes back to jungle, farms, picks up the Astrolabe, and now figures this is the timing to push, and I agree with it. It's good play so far.
There comes the group. 4 of them are here. The only one not is, of course, Doctor, who's still working on farm at the top side here. You got Kronos. Kronos field is ready. No, it's not ready, excuse me. 20-second cooldown still, so yeah, no really chance of true initiation. He is going to get the deny. He got stunned, actually, as he did it, but they go for Arachne instead, who they happen to find. And they take her out, so they get a kill out of it. And actually, Lord Self 4 is caught in the middle of it. That Ward of Revelation, the 2 of them doing work right there. And they get 2 kills on top of the tower kill, and they're going to keep going now because of that.
I'm not sure why Mint wants to defend that. I mean, Tempest even has have an Astro. They don't have the ultimates. Nice people there.
Yeah.
So even in fog there. So, yeah, I'm not sure why they want to defend that. Now it's going to be 2 towers instead and 3 kills on top of that. That's a huge swing for BMG, and well played from them.
Yeah, it was 0. It was like identical, if anything, maybe close to 1,000 for either side. 7,000 gold lead now in favor of BMG after all of that. Like, that was just a huge, huge lead all of a sudden at this point of the game put out by them. So
I'm not sure who called that TPM and we defend this because they didn't have any ultis. And Hellbringer's not 6 yet. It was a different story if they had Kronos Field and Hellbringer's level 6 with a Malphas. Definitely they should defend that with Lodestone ulti as well. They have a lot of strong ultimates that have a long cooldown, so if they have those available, sure, go for it. But if you do not, then you should probably rethink it a bit.
Oh, so this is interesting. You know, I'm going to assume that Tempest, so he actually just finished a Steam Boost right there. He had a Apprentice rope delivered to him as well, though I think he didn't realize he had the bolstering armband on him or got bugged there, so I'm going to guess that I mean, he could still turn that into the Arcana Adventure Restoration Stone, so I guess there is that. But
I guess, yeah, in the long run.
I think that was a little bit of a mistake there. But anyways, Lodestone bottom lane, no chance. They go on him quickly, and they're going to keep going. There is that Malphas now coming out finally, as Hellbringer is level 6, but that'll just stop BMG from continuing further. And now they're going to turn around and finish off the tower. So now they will not have that if another fight breaks out here. In fact, Devour, oh, he almost got a chance, but not close enough. So. But, yeah, BMG really, really turning it on here. And now Dr. Repulsor obviously has been joining them. He's got a Null Stone well in the works here.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not sure why they're actually trying to defend that if they don't want to be 5. So, I mean, good catch from BMG again, but still a little bit sloppy and indecision from Fresh here. they're trying to do some things that they are just not capable of with their heroes at the current moment.
Oh my
Nice hook.
gosh. That was an impressive hook once again. I mean, I know sometimes you say like, "Oh, impressive hook," when it really was like that great, but that was a pretty damn good hook right there. They're gonna pause right after that. Again, it definitely feels very strat pause like.
It is for sure. It's not a technical issue. I believe not. At least small chance for that. It's like, okay, what do we want to do? Because after giving up those mid towers, that fight, I mean, BMG is just snowballing out of control. So they have to do something. To figure out what is the next move. It might be a little bit too late, honestly, but they still have those huge ultimates to pick up a couple kills with. The problem is the Hellborn team is getting really tanky now because of those items they pick up and also the experience lead.
9,400 gold lead now, 6,200 experience lead. So yeah, really is adding up very nicely here. Tilta going the post haste, by the way. Do you think that was the most efficient choice? I mean, they are moving around a bit, but yeah, it seems like kind of grouping up. It's not the best choice.
I don't think it's the most efficient choice, but I think it's a result of them being so far ahead that he's like, yeah, in the long run I'm gonna save money and then I can be wherever I want to at any time and just use my combo, not think too much about it. It's just one of those things you like to right click because it's going so good, but it's definitely better items for him. Even an aura item like a Gnome's Wisdom or anything for the team here right now, because they're looking to push and fight, and Gnome's Wisdom is gonna help the entire team immensely.
How about Lord South Forest picking up a glowstone here? Again, I guess it doesn't have, like, Staff of the Master would be my first thought, but it doesn't, obviously that's not all it makes now. A couple of other items, there's probably no way it's going to be an icon. I guess it could be an Oldstone, but...
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be that. It might be the Frostwolf, straight into Frostwolf, but I don't really agree with that. I think you need I'm stressing these aura items all the time, but yeah, most other items are being picked up all the time. I'm not sure exactly why, but I don't think it's going to be Staff, though. I think it's going to be the Frostwolf. That's what he's going to go for.
That doesn't even make Frostwolf anymore, actually.
Oh, it doesn't, actually.
No,
wait,
yeah.
I'm stupid.
Well,
okay,
I was double-checking that, too.
What can it be? Okay, then it has to be the Staff, or...
Like I said, Icon or Nullstone or Spell Sunder. Those are the four.
Yeah, but those are kind of... Spell Sunder? I'm not...
I doubt that. I know the new Icon has been considered to be a nerf, and people just don't like it anymore, so... That's why I would be hesitant to say that, so...
I think the Jade Spire is kind of the new Icon. Instead, you pop that, and then you get the mana regen on top of you using spells, so you get life. Kind of works better than the Icon.
Yeah, I think it was actually your teammate, Imboboy, that, and speaking of Doctor, actually, he's going to catch Arachna down here and ultimately gets a free kill out of it. However, this is good synergy.
Is it going to hit?
Is it going to hit, actually? It does hit Tempest, not Doctor, though. There is the kill on Tempest. Now, Dr. Repulsor, he's very low mana, though. In fact, he doesn't even have enough for a ludicrous speed use, but he's got a hook from Devo. Great teamwork right there. I was wondering what the plan was, and, well, there you go.
Yeah, he didn't have a TP. I thought he was just gonna, stand still and die. Because, yeah, why not? Do as much damage as he could. There's always the potential to S2 Diamond Cliff there if you get trapped. But, yeah, didn't happen. Nice open Boxy, making him get away. And he actually spots Hellbringer as well.
And that'll be a free kill for him. And, Devo, we don't get to see him often, but this is also a hero that almost somewhat of a definition of Snowball. He's got an ability for it, at least, with that... that passive of his, the Cadaver Armor, so he's got 8 charges in it now because of roaming around. That's giving him +8 strength, so he's sitting on 1,300 life here with just really Steam Boost to add to stats. That's pretty powerful.
That's quite decent. So. Almost a Mighty Blade.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, the longer the game goes on, more HP, it's definitely better.
I hate this skin, by the way. Freaking boots, they just squeak.
The clown one?
Yeah. It's like, once you hear it, you just can't unhear it. It just happens, and it's just like, shut up.
Oh, you're actually right.
Yeah, now
you didn't have to say that.
And now I've got you. Now I've got everyone. I was probably the only one that noticed, and now everyone's like, are you kidding me? Yep. Those squeaks. There goes the bottom tower push. Only 16 minutes in, and they're going to be pushing a secondary tower here at the bottom, and that's an easy one on top of that. Obviously, they've already taken out middle, so there's only one tower left. As top lane, Kronos took a transmute. He's able to time leap away initially. It's not over yet, though. Or maybe it is.
I think we'll get there.
Yeah, I thought Midas had a porta key, but never mind. So he's still. Oh my God, he may catch though, but no. Look at that rewind proc. And actually now turning it, but Midas in that Kronos field. But look at Devour, the perfect time gets Hellbringer. Malphus comes out, but now the Spider Sting actually on a Diva. But again, he's pretty damn tanky. As here comes a Shadow Storm to absolutely secure just in case. So it will be a 1-for-1 after all of that. Meanwhile, look at the bottom tower. Doctor's like, you guys have your fun up there. I'll put some damage on your tower here.
When you chase for that long, you should expect a response. So going 2 heroes against the potential 5 was a little bit too greedy. I mean, they're in a great spot, but you give your opponent a chance to respond at least and get some good things going if you dive for that long. Yeah, a 1-for-1 in the end, definitely in Min's favor. They're still really far ahead, but Probus did manage to pick up a Rune Cleaver now from that. So maybe he can get some farm going, and the game will be looking different.
So now, Kronos is definitely going to be interesting. He's not only a hero we don't see often, but always his item build could potentially be something, again, kind of interesting from game to game. You mentioned the Rune Cleaver here, as actually Devo is going to jump in. I don't know about enough damage. Follow-up, there we go. Doctor flies in, and that absolutely secures it. So, Castra's cursed a bit there for Probusk, unfortunately. I apologize, but the Rune Cleaver, I was going to say, you know, will he go for something like the Elder Parasite, like the bash your face kind of solo kill, or is it going to try to be more of a stat build, you know, the Firebrand and whatnot?
Yeah, usually when you get the Cleaver, you want to farm to a point where you buy those big items, you know, the Wing Bow, all those kind of 6k, 5k items. But right now, as it looks, they kind of need to win a fight here shortly, so getting that Elder Parasite is probably the most damage for the least amount of money you can get right now, and could be an option.
A note that I actually did confirm is that Kronos, the illusions do bash.
Oh, they did?
They do bash. So the Geometer's Bane, that could actually make that even obviously a little more powerful then. That's something you'd be interested in.
We were talking about that last time. That's true.
I went through that. So I was actually going through and kind of doing some testing to kind of confirm what the deal was. That's actually Arachna now going to get caught. Here comes the Shadow Storm response, but so is Doctor here. Arachna's able to tank the initial damage. That's a pretty big Shadow Storm. Actually, it's a couple of heroes. Tempest was running in. He wanted to get an ultimate off, you can tell, but he just couldn't get the placement. Then down goes Devo, but so does Lodestone. Arachna was finished by Midas in the background. Lord Self4 is chasing. Doctor's going to be able to port out, though. And that will be the getaway here now. Midas, he's still hanging around.
I have no idea what Probusk was doing. He was just running around. He had an ultimate ready to go, but he did not want to go for anything at all. That's really questionable, in my opinion. But decides to just do nothing, go for the creep wave instead, and let BMG port out. Yeah, interesting decision to not do anything at all. So 2-for-1 in BMG's favor.
You know, it's kind of funny here. I'll finish my story in a second, too, before that, but Icebrand purchased on Lord Self-Force. Now, as we confirmed, and as you know, even you were, it looks like Denver Pro might have been confused as well, because it would make sense if that was his intention. But yeah, no longer makes a Frostwolf skull. So I don't know if that's just coincidence that he wanted it for something else, kind of change his heart, but that doesn't make it. So he's going to have to invest more gold now.
Yep.
Picking up.
I think he needs to stay excited there. Oh, they find the
very
Luna
possible. They do, but it might come at a cost, though. Devo and Tempest here. Tempest, yep, he was positioning himself to get a good element to void off. He ends up getting both. Devo was locking down Arachna, so just, you know, obviously just all coming together for the Hellborn side. And Devo's not done yet. He's going to keep going. Here comes Doctor, that's why. Malphus does come down. Chronos Field in the background, actually a pretty good one, but I don't know if it's going to be enough damage follow-up. Unless Arachna gets here. She couldn't get here in time necessarily. She gets a spider, or a web off, I should say. But it's not going to be enough of a slow, and Midas is going to make the getaway. So yeah, buyback on Arachna. Unfortunately, not worth it there, as BMG is able to retreat.
Yep. Again, it goes in BMG's favor. That's buyback from Arachna too. So yeah, not looking too great. They're trying to get some kills, but it simply takes too long for them to get them. I was on a Luna, and it took like 5-6 seconds, and that definitely buys enough time for the Hellborn side to respond, and they come assist her, and they get the turn there with a good Elemental Void.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if Lodestone ulti missed on her or wasn't activated. They figured they could kill her without it or something, but if it takes too long at this point of the game, then you're gonna get punished for it. So you need to get quick kills and out. Better use too much than too little.
Devo, he's just gonna keep this going, man. He's still looking for kills. He's gonna get that one on Hellbringer right here. He may end up dying, but obviously he's like, I don't even care. I'm having fun, done my job. Kinda. I mean, that exchange's not really worth it as much, to be fair, but he's keeping them busy is what really is going on here is Devo. So.
That's true. But at the same time, whenever he dies, he gives a lot of golden experience to the enemy team, so you can't do that too much.
That's true, yeah. Gotta be a little careful. I think that death right there might be the one that's like, okay, yeah. let's maybe take it back a little bit here.
Yep, I think so too.
Farm that shrunken head, it looks like is what he's going for. Yeah, he went the full Sackstone even before this, so. And again, the good thing about the Sackstone you see right here is not obviously it does plenty, but again, one of those things it does happen to do is that respawn timer reduction when you get a kill, and so you're coming up 10 seconds quicker. So you know, Devo obviously loves that, especially kind of reset and go once again. So I think overall,
yeah, what I've been noticing from BMG is they don't pick up those teamfight items a lot. You know, Gnome's Wisdom, Abyssal, Astrolabe, Sackstone even. But here they have an Astrolabe and they have a Sackstone. And Tempest looks like he's going for Barrier, so they're really valuing those teamfight items in this game.
Yeah, no, that's interesting.
So, credit to them.
Interesting to point out there. Yeah, going the Barrier Idol. I guess it is. Well, I don't know. So he's not that Barrier Idol is, you know, it's a decent investment, but yeah, going that instead of the Resto Stone, or say the Shrunken Cores for that matter. I mean, is that worth
I agree with you. It actually Barrier now that I look at it. Kronos is physical, Arachne is physical. Lodestone ulti kind of negates most of that, but yeah. It might not be the best pickup. Something that when he has some good farm, just getting the Shrunken Head into Resto might be better, and then you ulti the Kronos every time, and no one's gonna. Oh, I guess there's a Hellbringer actually to stop you. So
yeah.
With that in mind, I guess going the teamfight items might be better, and then just surviving and dealing damage over time to your opponents might be the way to go. Mm-hmm. But if it ever gets to a point where Fresh can win the fight and then come out ahead, even though they have the barrier, then it's gonna look a bit stupid to have it. But right now, it's a decent item, I would say.
Yeah, right now, not too shabby, and doesn't have it just yet, but again, we'll have it shortly here. So yeah, real quick, I wanted to finish what I was talking about earlier with the bashing of Chronos Illusion. So those work, but I was kind of testing out some other ones that similar idea. And Pestilence and Flint Beastwood, obviously you also have somewhat of a mini stun or stun effect. They actually do not work with illusions. So there is kind of like a, it's not really consistent there. So I think that is something that is going to be looked into to kind of, go one way or the other. I believe it's going to be made a point that they should be able to stun just for the case, illusion's a little more powerful. But yeah, I can confirm that Chronos Illusions definitely do stun here. Oof, nice dodge on that hook there from Arachne coming out. So
yeah, Elsa's definitely a kill, I think. Kronos is farming bottom, and the rest of the team was not nearby.
There's the Frost of Skull finished on Denver Pro, so he'll have to use that glowstone for something else now. I mean, it's not the end of the world. I mean, Staff is good on South Forest, so.
Yeah, it's alright. I think he's just gonna sit on it for now. I think eventually he wants a Shrunken Head, so he can just run around in the fight and not care too much. Mm-hmm. At the same time, he has only 7 armor and 6 magic armor, so even if he gets a Shrunken, he's not too tanky.
Bottom, you see the Devo in the front lines, of course, and looking for a jump.
He's just buying a smoke to get into their jungle to pick up his farm, while, he hopes that his team can D-push to buy enough time for him.
Huh. Yeah, having to be sneaky just to get any kind of farm continuing to have. As he's now 400 gold per minute, so yeah, not bad. But the base once again going to be sieged right here. No token or anything like that.
But they don't have any deep push on the Legion side. There's no Tundra, there's no Luna, there's no bubbles, anything. They don't really have the deep push, so it's pretty rough for them to defend the hill here.
Gonna have more damage on the tower. Not dead just yet, but able to do enough to defend it for now. Again, Mint does have a pretty good team fight potential, so obviously if you're BMG, you don't want to throw yourselves at them and give them that wombo combo there. They do see Chronos top, though, and actually they're going to try to make a play. There comes a transmute attempt, but no, Chronos gets away.
Oh.
Did it connect? It did.
Yep, it did.
Yep. Well played by Teltic there. Happened to line it up, and Fusen actually credit for the kill with the red power throw came all the way through. Oh, that was it wasn't really a guess. I mean, he did see the time leap go in that direction, so he just was smart about it.
Yeah, well played. And yeah, I think even if Provost tried to run around up there, I mean, even Doctor jumping in there and then pressing Q gives the vision he needs. Boxy picks up Hellbringer once again, trying to deward here. It's one of those cases where you're so far behind that they can do that and it's unpunished. It's a bit frustrating for him, but no, yeah. Nonetheless, they are up 5-3 right now, and they might pressure a little bit here, or go for Conqueror.
Yeah, that's something that's still there, and hasn't been attempted yet. 27 minutes in now, so as the Legion team was pushing the bottom lane out a little bit right there, but in the end, not gonna feel comfortable pushing it all the way through. We'll get back as top lane. No, he reacted. Get that rocket drill. 14 charges now on Devo. Again, that strength looking pretty good. 2,300 life now. Well, he's gotten really some mighty blade now on top of that, so quite the tank already. And he must be close to that Shrunken. I want to say he has the Warhammer, so yeah, probably finishing off these Ancients here, and we'll be able to pick it up. Of course, still have a couple ways to stop him, but not the end of the world.
It's gonna make him survive for longer, for sure. Maybe he can do more in the fights.
Alright, here's Kongor. This will be a token for Doctor, of course. Legion side, not really much vision. They could probably have an idea that it's happening, but whether or not they can get over there and make a play is completely different. Nice vision from the Hellborn side. And the middle tower even still being here, so yeah, it's going to be too tough to stop, it looks like, for Min. And that will be a token again for him, so he's got the Hellflower, the Nullstone, another 20, going to be about 2,500 or so after this Conqueror kill even on a Doctor Repulsor. There we go. So he's working on his next tier now. Whatever he wants to go for. What do you think? Does he need a... Again, the Shrunken's kind of awkward here. It's not really necessary. So if you're a Doctor, maybe it's like a sheep stick, I guess, or maybe that Jade Spire.
Yeah, even that Jade Spire is fine, honestly. It's pretty good here. Just keep up your mana regen. It's kind of like that icon, and it gives you magic armor, normal armor, on top of, the stats it brings. It's a pretty good item here.
Yeah, as I was mentioning earlier, I think, I didn't finish, but we saw Immoboy, your teammate, do that on his Doctor, and yeah, it kind of threw us off for a little bit because I saw him using it and not really attacking it. It's just kind of taken back, like, wait, what's going on? But that's right, it also does a 500% mana regeneration on top of the lifesteal. But now Lodestone going in right here. He catches a couple, actually, pretty good start. There's Malphus, here comes the Chronos Field. Doctor not caught, though. He's able to fly around in the background, do some work. Midas is going to live through the Chronos Field. Chronos himself, he's now locked down, and yep, he will go down in the end. Lord Salforce, he's now in the midst of it. Pinky Curdy is going to fall on Tempest, trying to get an Elemental Void off right there. Devour just kiting Malphus now as Dr. Repulsor. He does have the token. You see the Legion team make sure not to kill him, though, if they can help it, as he is pretty low on mana right here. Malphus is dead. Lord Salforce, though, trying to retreat. Ain't going to retreat. He gets picked off, and are there even buybacks? No, there's no buybacks. I was going to say, that's... well, Make thinks it's a good game right here. Okay, they didn't vote to concede. Never mind. Thought that was just an aggressive GG there, but
Wasn't a super GG.
no, not this time here. But Mint maybe on a different page here because they're not actually conceding just yet.
Yeah.
All right.
First, they do use 3 buybacks here.
Wow, they did. Okay, they must have just got those buybacks.
No, they used 2 because Ragnar used 1 earlier. So yeah. Yeah, so Forrest had 1 all along. I think honestly what they should have done is bait Forrest, make him use the buyback, and then hopefully BMG is in a position where they can initiate properly. But they tried to catch them off guard, which kind of worked. Midas was in a bad spot and almost got bursted instantly, but they did manage to finish her off. And I mean, Kronos hit 3-man ulti, but Aluna then had a 3-man red stun, and it kind of negated some of it, the potential of them killing the heroes inside. And yeah, BMG is just so far ahead that it's really hard for them to kill them fast enough. And yeah, as a result, BMG is coming out ahead.
Now, there's some interesting things to talk about here. Dr. Repulsor, he actually bought a Harkons and then he sold it. And now he bought an Acolyte staff. So I still think it's possible he still may go for it, but he wanted a buyback as well just in case. But when he has a token, so maybe not. But anyways, they're going to look for a jump here, and they do catch Lodestone and possibly more. Luna even coming in fact. The power throw through Kronos. Oh, man, the time leap just in time. But Lord Salforce, he can't leap away. Kronos, he is going to be chased down in the end. Devour. Okay, he is actually going to live right here. That barrier idol does help in that case. And, well, that's the game. One thing I was going to mention, though, too, was the scope was picked up on a Luna. What is it even called now? The spy scope? What is it called? The True Strike thing.
Spyglass.
Spyglass, that's what it is. Yeah, I didn't even remember the name. Spyglass was picked up at the last second there before that last fight, so that was interesting. Trying to help siege.
I guess, yeah. I'm not sure, but yeah, picks it up.
Anyways, they won it. BMG looking good there. Even with the ringer, again, Belts are not here for the first game at least, so that was well played as a team there.
Yep. Yeah, well played. And, yeah, I think not much to say. They got a